I feel like making your transition to monolingual dictionaries can actually be one of the most difficult parts of language acquisition, especially if you are not still used to the language. Lately, I've been noticing that I can understand most of the explanations in monolingual dictionaries for Japanese, so I'll teach the practices I've done to improve at this area. By the way, I've studied English for 3+ years, Japanese for 16 months, and as a League 6 athlete, this channel will teach you to get discipline in the language acquisition process. Yes, and in fact, I do think that even if you don't understand the language, you should still have some monolingual dictionary in your Jamitan settings or wherever you're using, and every month or every week, whenever you feel like it, check the definition in Japanese to see if you can understand it. If not, just go back to your English definition. I noticed that I did this unconsciously, but it was to actually test if my reading speed had improved or not, and I was actually surprised to notice how much words you can understand even in complex vocabulary. So I was pretty much doing this every week during the month 9 to 12. Also, this will get you a bit used to reading, and you're probably thinking about making your transition to reading manga, like novels, and all of this content, so this pretty much will help you a lot on that, because there's lots and lots of nuances used in concept explanations that you will only get from reading those explanations. They are pretty much never used in more visual type of content like anime or drama. This one is really good too, but there are some things that you have to be careful about. When I first started applying this method, I noticed that I wasn't really acquiring words I mind through concept explanations. And I was like, maybe actually this is not that useful. And that's when I started to use mind some words that I could understand by context on those explanations. Now, for sure, you can literally review everything, but just make sure you're not putting them into your anki if they are not words that are super common. There's going to be a point too when you're more advanced in which you know already a lot of kanji, and it will be easy to guess what the word means. At this point, should you really mind the word? For me, it depends on two factors. Will it be useful to learn a new reading of the kanji? Most of the time it is, and also the word explanation from which you mind that card is common enough. In other words, is the primary word so common that you will be reviewing it maybe 2 to 3 times in 1 or 2 hours? If so, then definitely mind some words from that concept explanation. It takes some time, of course. If you just apply the 2 things I said, at some point you're going to definitely end up reading monolingual definitions, even if your primary content is YouTube or anime and you don't really read that much because you're lazy. Still, I do think that you'll notice most of your progress if you make a transition to some kind of method of reading. From my experience, it actually took me 2.5 months to see noticeable results by doing 1 or 2 hours of reading in the first month and 2 to 3 hours of reading at the last month. Maybe it is a lot of reading, I actually don't think so. I've seen people reading for 4 to 6 hours daily. However, what else are you going to be doing instead of reading? Scrolling on TikTok. Go to the link in the description for my specific help. Remember that hard work is the real fun, and engage with my content if you want more people to know about this. Thank you.